Thank you so much, Sachin. Thank you, Renu. And what a stellar group of speakers we've heard from. It's very hard to follow on that, but I'm really pleased to be here with you. So this is the book. I keep waving it around because, we wanted to get more people to read this book. As Sachin said, Dr. Nadkarni and Dr. Pathare are leading voices in this field. We interviewed Dr. Lakshmi. I'm going to just take a step back and tell you that I set up the Health Collective actually several years ago, precisely because somebody had tweeted at that time, someone I didn't know, that their friend was sitting in Mumbai and very distressed, and they didn't know who to reach out to. I saw this tweet 2 days later, and I sort of DM'd and said, I'm sure by now somebody's connected you to someone. And as a former health editor, I had all of this information. I presumed everyone had this information. This is very privileged Mumbai, and I was shocked that this person said no. So his friend had been sitting around for 2 days, acutely depressed and distressed. Of course, I sent some helplines and some contacts, but I decided at that point that the least I could do is put that information together and start shipping it. Slowly, we started getting more and more stories, and that's how the Health Collective was really born. But I will start this just by talking a little bit about the role of the media. It's the industry I love the most. It was my chosen career for a long time. I kicked off this chapter on suicide in the media. I'll just read a few lines for you. My first job was as an intern at a radio channel. One blistering, confusing summer, that infernal gap between high school and college. Skipping ahead, I was all confusion, unsure of myself in a new city at the cusp of young adulthood. And my first boss was everything you could hope for. Smart, witty, grounded, and with a keen eye that missed nothing. I'll always remember him as a force of nature. He's also the first person I know of who died by suicide. Reasons unknown and unknowable. Fast forward 20 years, which is when I set the Health Collective up. But in that process, I was working at a news channel. And it was there that we realized, a national news channel with the best intentions, that as much as we wanted to get stories of mental health on air, mental illness, talk about them with an India lens, we inevitably only covered very difficult issues like suicide, like many of you are hearing about today. Despite how common it is, what a crisis it's become for India and other countries, we only covered them when there was a horrific celebrity death. We only covered them in a way that was sensationalized. I remember, and I write about this, 25-year-old actor Jia Khan, just recently 34-year-old actor Sushant Singh Rajput. Watching that tamasha made so many of us so upset, because it just feels like we haven't learned anything as the media.